because I just been trying to. All right, like it's popping off, but yeah, I'm just gonna let it play for like probably 2 3 minutes before we get into it. But yeah, with JTech, I do a lot of video because I believe in freedom of speech, and when you start blocking people and you start stopping people from their freedom of speech, then I have a big, huge problem with that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I let a lot of, Xbots on my channel
Mm.
talking crap about me, but like, I'm not gonna like block them unless they say something really like stupid. Uh,
No, I agree. I agree with you completely. It's the fact that yeah, you can say whatever you want because it's like a free country. It's just if you try to block people, then I do have a big problem with that. You can always make videos. Like I see you making videos, and that's more of something that I like because if you criticize people, it shows a different light.
yeah, and sometimes I don't know why, but my videos like the comment the comments get like disabled. I don't know why, and every time I turn them back on, they just disable again. I don't know why it does that, but I don't want that to happen. I don't like disabling,
Right?
any of
Did
that.
you try to hold the comments up for reviews? Because that's what I started to do. Because don't get me wrong, I agree with you. I don't like my comment disabled, but the videos I've been putting up was more like they sending links to like different websites, and I feel like that's the wrong way to do it. So I just go ahead and say hold comments for review.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like this. I think it's like a bot under like some comments where it's like a link or something, or like a timestamp with some kind of link to it.
Yeah.
And I looked into it. It was like I think it was like some kind of hacking thing. I don't know.
Right. 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 Just move my microphone forward. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
we got a viewer in the chat. So I guess we could start off in about like 20, 10 more seconds.
All right.
All right. Cool. And like I said, just be yourself. I'm actually just here, just having a discussion, seeing what you about and everything. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. My intro coming up. Hello, human beings. How you doing today? My name is Sendo Q, and thank you for visiting my channel. Today, I have one and the only Malkimum in my channel. How you doing, Malkimum?
Doing pretty good.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So, yeah, I did recognize your channel when I saw Griffin Gaming first, and I see he criticized you on certain things. Before we go into that, and that's how I found out about your channel. Before we go into that, tell us a little bit about yourself and what's your channel about.
My channel is discuss the hypocrisy and this whole um what's it console war thing. Like I'm a PlayStation gamer. I've been a PlayStation gamer for a long, long time, and to see everybody just slandering PlayStation, like I want to speak up on it. Like it's like a trend to hate on PlayStation, and I'm tired of it.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, and I kind of get that too. I've never been a PlayStation fan, but just growing up, as you can see, I grew up with the NES and the SNES and the Sega as my age. So I was more on the. I witnessed the fanboys on the part of console wars back in the day, but I can see where you come from. When I heard about PlayStation, they was pretty innovative with their technology and got me looking kind of that at the same time. But I can see where you come from, where a lot of people saying about PlayStation lately. What's your look on that part of people slamming PlayStation? What is your reason why they slamming PlayStation?
Like why? Like what is the question again?
What is your idea of everybody slamming PlayStations? Like, what do you think is the reason?
I think the reason why is because they think that PlayStation is not coming out with games or that they're anti-consumer, and it's just like ridiculous. Because look at Nintendo, like they're the ones being the most anti-consumer, and people act like these practices that they've been doing just like started up all of a sudden. Like it's been here for a long time. I don't know what it is. Like it's ridiculous. But people are just thinking that Xbox is the greatest thing on planet Earth, and I just do not agree with that.
Okay, fair enough. I see you saying that the first thing you said is PlayStation is anti-consumer, and you looking at Nintendo being anti-consumer, which I do agree with you on the anti-consumerism on Nintendo. They is pretty anti-consumer, but I can see why they was anti-consumer back in the day. As you remember, I mean, you probably don't remember this or anything, but I remember when the Atari system was out and they had the Intellivision and the ColecoVision. It was pretty much a wild wild west, and in the crash of the video game consoles back in the day, because so many stuff came out back then that when Nintendo brought out
Mhm.
their system, they didn't want that crash to happen. And I think that's
Yeah.
the reason why they're set in their ways with the anti-consumer. And my question to you is, what do you think about that history question? Right, I mean, answer to that.
It's just honestly, I don't know a lot about the crash. All I really knew was that yeah, they were basically coming out with all sorts of consoles, and it was just all over the place. And
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of agree with Nintendo. I mean, what were they doing that was anti-consumer? Like,
So the
back
answer
in
to
the
that
day.
is when Nintendo came out with their Nintendo Entertainment System, they wanted
Mhm.
to kind of don't want the crash to happen again. So what they did is they told companies, if you're going to make the system for our console, you got to sign a contract. So that's why you see the seal of approval for Nintendo on that part of, hey, if you're going to make the game, it got to be at least 95%, unbugged on everything. It got to be their approval, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of agree with what they did. I mean, look what happened. I mean, they did save the gaming industry with that. Like it worked. But right now, they're super anti-consumer. Like, they're the worst offenders.
Yeah,
Because I mean, look at the sales. They don't have any sales on their games. PlayStation is the one who gets has sales on their games like The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Those games were like $30 like 2 months or so like after release. Like, and people sometimes make fun of PlayStation for that. They're like, "Oh, look at these games. They're so low quality. Look at this. They're on sale all the time." Like, why is having sales bad? Like, isn't that what PC players preach and all that stuff? But um, PlayStation, Nintendo is like the worst, if anything, and that's the console that PC players play on mostly. Like, they always have Switches. Well, they don't always have Switches, but when a PC player has a console, it's most likely like a Switch or something like that. And yeah, that's it.
okay. One part I do disagree in that statement that you said was Nintendo don't have any sales, and I think I'm mishearing you. Sell, and you might correct me on this. Sales as in how many copies they sell, or sell as in discounted
No,
prices.
yeah, discounted prices.
Okay, in that situation, then yeah, I agree with you. And I think depending on the company, they could do whatever they want because that's their product. And thank you for clearing that up for me because I'm thinking sales as in number of units sold, like
Yeah.
PlayStation, PlayStation 4 sold like what 100 million, I mean 100 million units if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, let's go with 100 million. So like the PlayStation 4 sold 100 million. That's what I meant. That's what I thought you meant by sales. And and yeah, they are very anti-consumer, which I agree with. The fact that they still stuck in their way, like stuck in the '90s and stuff, and they making bad decision. And one thing I do want to talk to you about is what you think about the Nintendo OLED. And before I say my little piece about that, I do want to make a video, but I think this live stream will work a little bit better. But what do you think about the Nintendo OLED?
On the OLED system,
Mhm.
honestly, like if you don't have a Switch and we're looking to buy a Switch, I think the OLED was like is like kind of the best, like kind of the smart decision to buy. It's only like $50, and I heard OLEDs were really cool, like really nice looking. But if you already have a Switch, then the OLED is super pointless. And and even if you don't have a Switch, the OLED is kind of stupid. Like it has barely any improvements except for the screen. But I don't know. Like if you don't have one and we're looking to buy a Switch, then I guess the OLED is a good choice. But yeah, in
Okay,
general, it's still kind of a bad upgrade.
and I agree with you. There's not that much upgrade, and for $50 more, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm thinking about spending my money in this situation for $350, I could go ahead and get an Xbox Series S with Game Pass, and I have a better experience because with me, I didn't buy my Switch. I helped my mom move from state to state, and she bought me the Switch. So my Switch was free, and I didn't spend like a single dime on the Switch. The only thing I did is bought games, and I don't play my Switch in portable mode at all. I just have it on a monitor. So as far as the new Switch OLED, I am not satisfied with that Switch. There's no upgrade except for the screen, like you said. But if you play your Switch like I do in TV mode, that's why I always tell people like, yeah, you could call the Switch handheld mode. I mean, a handheld that you can play on your TV. I call the Switch a home console that you can take with you. And honestly, I agree with you. If you don't have a Switch, OLED is fine. But to me, I don't think they shouldn't release that Switch OLED at all.
Yeah,
All right, so
they should have put like way more.
yeah, and then also with that money, if I save $50 more, I could just got me a PlayStation 4 when they restock on them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
or yeah, PlayStation 5. Like you can get a
I'm sorry,
PlayStation
PlayStation 5. I'm
way
sorry,
better.
I'm getting confused with 4 and 5. My bad. Yeah, the digital version. I would have just got the PlayStation 5 digital if that's the case. Um, to another question. Before we go to the PlayStation side part. Uh, built your first PC. How was that experience?
Um, it was fun. I guess. I mean, it's I like my PC. Like, yeah, I had a good experience building it.
Okay, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I remember when my first PC. I was excited. My dad was in IT like way back in the day, and that's one thing I do regret is I didn't get into IT as fast as I thought that I would. So that's one thing I do regret about not learning anything about PC building or PC components back in the day, and that's one thing I do regret. But I talked to him. He know I build PCs, and we just have fun time talking about components and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually pretty good questions. Let's talk about the your experience with PlayStation while you growing up. You think you could tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. My brother had a PlayStation 2, and I was playing, San Andreas on it and stuff. And I just really like PlayStation. And I did get an OG Xbox, and I played like um Blinks, the Time Sweeper, and Halo 2 on it, and those games were good. But um, then I got a Xbox 360. I had fun on that. After that, I got a PS4, and I saw how bad the Xbox One was, and then I got a. So basically, I was pretty much actually using Xbox a lot. Like I could see, I have a lot of experience on Xbox, and I'm still a PlayStation 5 owner. Like I just do not see anything good about that Xbox. So, but that's basically pretty much it.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from with. My first time being on Xbox was the Xbox, and one thing that caught me with that is I was getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, and this is when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out and everything, and I went to the card game shop trying to pick me up a Yami Yugi trial deck. Well, structure deck. They call it structure deck. I play a different card game that say trial decks. And in one of the rooms, they had like, if you know about PC, they do LAN parties, and you could do that with the Xbox by connecting four Xboxes together and playing like 16 player in one room with Halo, and that what won me over with Xbox. I was like, you could do that with Xbox. That's ridiculous. I want one now. And I saw the 360, and then when my friend introduced me to PC, that's when I left console altogether.
Uh,
Yeah,
dang.
that LAN party was dope. Yeah, so we talked about the Nintendo. We talked about the history of your gaming skills. I mean, gaming and everything. And I was surprised that you was on Xbox in the first place. That's brand new to me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm getting to get to know you a little bit. You're starting to be like a cool, decent person. I admit, you know. But let's go ahead and talk about the PlayStation. Let's talk about the PlayStation 4 and your experience. Like, what games did you play and what you thought about that whole entire experience?
I was playing, the exclusives, man. They were just amazing.
Mm.
The first game I actually got from PlayStation 4 was Destiny. I know that's not like an exclusive, but I had a lot of fun on that. Um, Uncharted 4, I was playing, Ratchet and Clank, God of War, all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'm just confused on why all of a sudden people just do not want exclusive games and just want live service and all that. But I mean, yeah, that's the answer to your question.
Okay. You don't mind me answering on that live service and everything and all that?
Yeah, I'm just super confused. Like literally last gen, everybody wanted exclusive game. Like people liked exclusive games. They like PlayStation exclusives. They like all that, and then now all of a sudden, it's just flipped over. Like it's ridiculous. Everybody just wants a Game Pass equivalent. They want live this, live that. It's just really weird.
Okay. For me to answer on that, not gonna lie, they did try that like back in the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era with some services like that. When you buy subscription, you get to play certain games online. And I forgot what the boxes was, but I know a company, Mad Cat. I don't think they're in business anymore. They had a box where you could do similar to that, but it wasn't like the Game Pass equivalent, but it was like you could stream the games and stuff. Back then, the internet wasn't at the peak of streaming like it is. But I think what it is you got Game Pass and
Yeah.
they give you an option of either you could pay, $15, $10 to $15 a month to download the game and play it, or you have the option to just buy the game and you own the game. And I think a lot of people, especially like the PlayStation fanboys, like they talking about you can't own your games, which you actually could own your games. You could download the game if you want to buy it. You have the option to. So they give you more options where it comes down to it. And I think exclusives, how close the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are so close in hardware, I think it's at that point where a lot of people are like saying, well, what's the point of having an exclusive if the hardware is basically 98% the same?
Uh,
Yeah. And that's what I think
um,
too.
Last gen was basically the same, right? Like
Mm,
PlayStation didn't really have anything like Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass was a thing before the Series X, and people didn't care. Now all of a sudden they do. I don't understand.
I think because it's marketing. It did came later during the Xbox One days because
Mhm.
because the marketing of the Xbox and the way that they try to push on the Connect. See, I've completely forgot about Connect. They try to force onto the Connect, so they were trying to keep that $500 mark because they don't want to make the same mistake that PlayStation did with the $600 PlayStation when it first came out. So they want to add the Connect, so they made their system a lot weaker than the PlayStation. So since they made the system a lot weaker than the PlayStation, and then you have to have Connect, and they worry about TV and stuff, while they lost their mind not saying about the gaming aspect, and I think that's the reason why PlayStation won that console generation. But I think they was trying to just saying, okay, let's just make a service because they're thinking about the future instead of the past.
And in my opinion, I don't know, like Game Pass, and especially on PC, Game Pass is not that easy.
And that's fine.
Like I
You
saw the yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I saw the games. Like it was just all Xbox 360 games, and like I could easily just buy Xbox 360 and buy those games for like $1.
Yeah, yeah, but
I don't know.
the thing is, hardware is going to break down if anybody like it or not. That's just how hardware work. Like PC parts are not going to last forever, and I know I bought this 6900 XT graphics card. I know that's not going to last forever, but it's going to last me for at least 10. I hope in 15 years. But yeah, you could buy an Xbox, but the thing about it is, remember the CMOS battery epidemic that the PlayStation 4 was having?
Yeah,
Well, that's going to go ahead and wear out because battery don't last forever. It got to dissipate somewhere. And if the CMOS battery dies, you lose all your hard work and stuff. And with that 360, CMOS battery die, you got nothing to save your games or anything like that. So I think with Xbox, they try and think like, okay, well, let's put the games on our system. Let's make them at least close to 120 frames a second and get them upsell to 4K. So you're still playing those old games, but better at a better frame rate and better fidelity, if that makes sense.
yeah. Also, the thing with Game Pass is like it's not like you're gonna be playing literally every game on Game Pass. Like I I got Netflix like
Mhm.
because there was like a specific like series or something on there. Like I'm not just gonna be playing every game. My money will be like kind of wasted if I don't know.
Um, this is how I look at Game Pass, and I might be different because everybody not the same. So what I do is I treat Game Pass like a big, huge demo, and what I mean by that is like a lot of people say they want to own games. I'm still in that boat, and I like to own my digital games. So I have Game Pass. I do pay 15 dollars a month because I get that mobile service where I could go ahead on my break. I could play some games, and that's one thing I do like about Game Pass. That was so me. But the fact that I could go ahead and download the game, try it out, and if I like it, I could go ahead and pay a discounted price on those games, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't think it's a waste because I do play on the go and Game Pass. And since at my job I can't bring my Switch, I have my phone. I have Game Pass on there, and since I paid that $15 a month, I could actually play on my phone streaming. Yes, it's still wonky, but I still have that option.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
All right. So we talked about Game Pass, and I see where you say that you don't like Game Pass on that part, and I can understand that. But I thought I'd clear up the air that when people say they can't own Game Pass, I meant games on Game Pass, which you can if you want to buy it at a discounted price. But let's go to the PlayStation side and let's look at the stuff that kind of made you happy about the PlayStation and what make you disappointed about the PlayStation 5. I'm sorry. Let's just talk about that 5.
Oh, PlayStation 5, man. I There's nothing really I'm disappointed with. It has everything I really want. Like there's really nothing
Mhm.
disappointed in with it. The UI. People always say that the UI is too confusing. Like that's just ridiculous. Like you're gonna be using that console for a long time, so you're definitely gonna get used to the UI. Like I wasn't used to I wasn't used to Windows
Mhm.
stuff like that, but I got used to it. I wasn't used to my keyboard and mouse, and I got used to it. Like you're gonna get used to the UI. The UI to me, it's like really clean looking. The controller, the haptic feedback is amazing. The exclusives that are coming out, like we already got like how many Returnal, Final Fantasy integrated. What else has come? What has come out? Ratchet and Clank. We're gonna get Horizon. Like we're already getting a ton of exclusives, and yeah, just yeah, the PlayStation 5 is the greatest console of all time, in
Okay.
my opinion. Second place to the PS2, of course, but yeah,
You like that PlayStation 2, don't you?
yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. I think what I like about the PlayStation 5 because I don't hate a console. I'm more about that innovation. I want to know what a console could do that no other console could do. Like to me, what I like about the PlayStation 5 is the fact that it's getting you a high refresh rate, and I think high refresh rate is key. Yes, the games are pretty nice looking and everything, and I give that to them. I'm happy that they're using computer parts like AMD, and I think a lot of people is underestimating what AMD could do. And I think the ray tracing could be better because AMD is not the greatest at ray tracing, but they still give you an option
yeah,
for it. And I just keeping it real.
yeah,
But agree, PlayStation 2 to me, I think what sells the PlayStation 2 was the DVD functionality because I have a cousin that
yeah,
owned a PlayStation 2, but she never played a single game. All she did to watch movies. And back
yeah.
then, I think DVD players was like over $100, like close to 200.
Yeah, the
So
PlayStation 2 was a great. Yeah,
yo, I agree. I'm not crapping on the PlayStation at all. I just think it was amazing, and not only that, it also killed the Dreamcast, which I think Dreamcast was amazing, but it killed the Dreamcast because of that DVD player functionality.
yeah.
All right, so what's the bad things you don't like about the PlayStation 5? Even though you like everything good about it, what is the bad thing about it?
Uh, it's not much. I mean, the only thing that I have a problem with it, like, um, I guess, wait, if the Xbox has this, then I'm not sure. But like the 120 FPS, like it's weird to set up. Like I have a 120 hertz, 144 hertz monitor here.
Mhm.
And I tried setting it up on my PS5, but like you have to have some kind of specific cable with a specific port and all this ridiculous stuff. I don't know,
Really?
but yeah, that's basically it. Yeah,
Mm, that's
but 60 FPS isn't even that bad.
yeah, but you need to have a certain cable to play at 120 frames. That's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, but I'm sure the Xbox has that problem too.
I think Xbox did talk about their cable. I'm not sure what kind it is. It slipped my mind. I just don't remember at all. All I could think about with the with the Xbox Series, is they got that quick resume.
Yeah,
Hello.
quick resume. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't understand the hype about quick resume.
Okay.
It was really
So I explained to you as best as I can. So you play Returnal, right?
no, I did not get that game.
Okay. But you have Ratchet and Clank, right?
No, I don't. No, I kind of can't really buy those games right now. Like I
Okay.
spent
Okay. All right.
all this
So
money on.
okay. Let's talk about Spider-Man Miles Morales. You own that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you was playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? But let's
Mhm.
say but your friends call you and say, "Hey, you want to hop on Call of Duty?" And you say, "Okay, I'm about to play Call of Duty." You could go
Mhm.
ahead and load up Call of Duty and have Spider-Man Miles Morales loaded in your background, and after you're done playing Call of Duty, you go ahead go to Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you could play from the spot that you stopped playing.
Yeah, but I mean, with the SSD, you kind of already have quick resume. Loading is fast, and for me, honestly, like I'm never really playing. I'm not really playing multiple games. Like I don't know, like for me, I play one game, like one game at a time, to platinum it, and then move on from that and go to another game. Like I'm never playing multiple games. I'm
Okay,
only playing one game at a time.
okay. Let me bring up
And
another situation where the where that could happen because there's another situation. So I played back with the PlayStation, not PlayStation. I'm sorry, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo Entertainment System. So there's a time where when we play the game and we have to go somewhere, we have to leave our system on. So when we come back, we have to go back to the game and everything. And therefore, if the power go out and come back on like a thunderstorm, you lost that progress. When when uh when the system overheat and it doesn't work and you gotta turn it off and turn it back on, that's an option. I mean that what happened to me. I'm just saying through my experience. So with that quick resume, somebody could keep their system off, like they could unplug it, everything at the same spot that they just turned it off and everything, and haven't played for like 3, 4, 6 months. They could connect their system, get back into the game, and they can actually get back to the game that they ended right at that situation that they played at.
I mean, in reality, who's really just leaving their console for 3 months, whatever? And also, like, yeah, I don't really see the hype for it. Like, you, when I come back to a game, like, if I'm not playing a game for a long time, I don't want to just be thrown back into the game and kind of lose experience from like everything that's been going on in the game. And I'll kind of come back kind of like rusty,
Mm,
and then with quick resume, it'll just throw you back into the game all of a sudden. Like I don't know.
fair.
I feel like quick resume is kind of like a gimmick.
Okay. All right, but like just because I remember playing Mega Man, that was a situation where I didn't want to like remember the code because yeah, you remember a code, you get back, it's like okay, I died, I just put in the code. But if there was that simple spot, that was just one thing that actually caught my attention from the quick resume because of that feature. Because my experience back in the day where you lose power and stuff like that. But so we talked about that. Uh, what about games going over to PC from like PlayStation? How do you feel about that?
Games going over to PC from PlayStation.
Hmm.
I don't agree with it, man. I mean,
Um, Reasons?
it's just not. I mean, the games have to stay on PlayStation.
Hmm.
Like it's gives the game like a certain charm to it, and plus like all PC players like they play at crazy FOVs, they skip cutscenes, they don't like this, they don't like that, like they don't like being told stories, they don't like nothing like that. So why give them games that they don't want? Like they're not gonna play them, they're not gonna like them, or like they talk too much crap about our games, and then all of a sudden they're thrown on there and they're just buying them. They don't deserve our exclusives.
Okay. May I bring up a reason it might happen?
Yes.
All right, you don't have to call me sir. Just call me Q. I'm cool with.
Yeah, no, I said yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say, hold on. You call me sir? Nah, it's not going to happen like that. All right. So with me, I don't care if the game go on PC or console and everything. I just people can play games as games, but I think I could come up for a reason where it might be a key thing. So you one question before I get into it. You want people to play your games on PlayStation, and they have to stick on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a country like Brazil. You want your games to be played on PlayStation. You want everybody to buy a PlayStation where they could enjoy the game. Let's take a country like Brazil where import tax is out the butt. Yes, PlayStation costs us four for the digital and five for the disc version. But in Brazil, a PlayStation 5 costs a little close to $1,000. And they're
Eh,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
and yeah, they're expensive, but I mean,
yeah, and
even if you want to play those, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. And over there, their life of living is not the greatest. So if they have that luxury of either picking up a PC, like building a PC with even the oldest parts that they could find on a discount, or picking up a close to $1,000 PlayStation, $1,000 PlayStation 5, I think in that situation, I'll rather get a PC because you could do more with it. So if games come over to PC from PlayStation on a PC, I think that give them a way to give them a chance to play the PlayStation games on that they can't play on a PlayStation console.
Yeah, but at the same time, with $1,000 PC, there's no way you'll be able to run these PlayStation exclusives. Like our games have really really nice graphics, so I don't really think $1,000 PC is gonna be able to run the games, especially in this um GPU shortage or whatever. Like you at least need like 1,500. Like
I haven't even checked the. Let me check real quick. I'm about to go to Steam real quick. Oops, wrong one. Let me go to Steam real quick. Uh, Let me check out my Steam. Oh wow, I forgot my password. I don't know. I check that out because I gotta check out the the what you call it, the minimum recommended to see what it is. But I'm just gonna go with you right now. Let's just say it can't run. I doubt it, but let's just go with it. But it's just the fact that you got countries that don't even that like China, their big marketplace is is PC only. So since their market is PC only and they don't care about playing in on PlayStation because China they banned like gaming console, and since PC not a gaming console they still had that option to play PlayStation game.
yeah,
So that's a reason why I think is good for anybody to put it on any console. Doesn't matter. Even with PC, like when I found out PC Part Picker went to not PC Part Picker, I'm sorry, PC Simulation went to a console. I'm like, okay, I actually might buy it because I can actually play it on a Switch and be fine with it. So I don't mind games going to other platforms. I think I'm more in that ballpark where we could all play together. Doesn't matter what console you are on.
with
But
I mean, multiplayer games are exclusive, and that's kind of dumb.
oh,
And
agreed.
yeah, but you see, Xbox making multiplayer games exclusives, and nobody cares about that. But that's kind of ridiculous. If multiplayer games are exclusive, that's kind of dumb because you lose player base and all that. But if a single player game is exclusive to one platform, like what's it like what's gonna come out, a Horizon or Starfield or whatever it's called,
Hmm.
then I don't really care. Like that's fine.
Right.
And people don't really care about Starfield being exclusive. Like they're celebrating. People are happy that Starfield is exclusive, especially PC players,
Oh
because they
no.
know that they'll be able to play it, so it doesn't matter. If Starfield wasn't on PC, can you imagine how angry PC players would get?
Um, you know what? I actually okay with it to be like multi-plat because I'm actually cool with it because everybody playing it, but hey, Microsoft spent all that money on that,
Yeah,
so it's like, hey, like I said, if they want to make games with it, they can. But me, I rather let it to be on every single platform because they lose money on selling consoles, but they don't lose the money on, but they earn more money when they sell their software. So I think I'm actually cool with that.
yeah. But the thing is, if they're putting an exclusive game on every platform, I feel like that game's gonna lose its quality. Like
Mm, nah, because
it's gonna
remember,
lose its
go ahead, go ahead.
because they know that they're gonna make a ton of money anyway selling it on all sorts of platforms. And so they just kind of go lazy with the game.
I just
That's why a lot of AAA multiplats are kind of garbage. Like, and literally every PlayStation exclusive like is a hit. Like, no matter what, like every exclusive. And you see people buying consoles for exclusives. So I don't understand why people think that nobody buys consoles for exclusives because that's just ridiculous. Like you have two consoles that basically do the same thing, the
mhm.
same games. One has better games and one doesn't. Like you're gonna want to go with the game with the console that has better exclusives. Like
I want to disagree with that. The reason why is remember the Wii U.
yeah,
So the Wii U didn't have no third party support. Like their third party support was weak sauce, and they was depending on their exclusives to sell. They still sell only 20 million units, like less than 20 million units. That's abysmal. That's after seeing what Nintendo do and being Nintendo with their whole category of exclusive Metroid, Kid Icarus, Mario, Legend of Zelda, Splatoon, all of that, it still couldn't sell that many units. So if Nintendo was relying on that console, like let's say they was not making that much money, they say okay, we got one more console, like the same situation that Sega was in, and they put out their Wii U as their last console. That would have shut down Nintendo because no third party would have made games for the Wii U and all that stuff. And I think the Nintendo Wii U was innovative. Having the tablet controller being different. I like what they presented, but even the innovation didn't save Nintendo with that console.
and I kind of want to argue that because they did not market the. They did not. What's it? Is that actually the word? They did not really advertise the Wii U that well. Like they did not.
Oh, they
When they
advertise it.
advertised,
They
I
advertise it to
mean,
kids.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't really seeing Wii U ads. Like I never really saw Wii U ads. Like barely
exactly.
anywhere. And Nintendo Switch, I was seeing a ton of those ads. And you know how Nintendo is. Like they got people buy Nintendo for they buy Switches for exclusives.
Yeah, and I think that's super flawed because the Nintendo Wii U, what to me was like an awesome system. It's just marketing bad. The the controller looked like it could have been an add-on to the Wii, and not that many third party support. Yeah, the controller was innovative, but it was still It was still a horrible system. Don't get me wrong. I wish that Nintendo could get out of their mind that hey, building a budget system like with the Switch OLED. I don't think anybody should get it unless they need a Switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just because Nintendo got a lot of exclusive doesn't mean it's going to hold them. It's going to carry them all the way to trying to make more systems later down the road. They might go down the let's put everything let's put everything on PC if that's a key thing. If they just going to keep on doing that.
But Nintendo, the thing is with Nintendo, um, I don't get it because PC players hate 30 FPS. They hate all that, and then you got a Nintendo Switch. You can literally emulate those Nintendo games, right?
Yeah.
Like you could 100% emulate those games on your PC, and then you see like a lot of PC players they just go out and buy Nintendo Switches and play at 30 FPS. But as soon as a PlayStation game is 30 FPS, it's the worst thing in the world.
Um, I want to say this. I play Splatoon 2 competitively, and I hate the fact because my Switch came with Splatoon 2. And remember, I got that system for free, so if I got a console for free, I'm not going to knock it down. But I hate that the Switch is at 30 frames a second. It doesn't look smooth at all. Uh, the reason why, like I said, I got the Switch is because, you know, it was given to me. I appreciate it. I still haven't turned on my Switch in the moment because it's just work and stuff and trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. That's one reason life happens. But yeah, if most people that are PC players are saying the Switch at 30 frames a second is a good idea, I don't think they're being genuine. But to me, I think it's bad, and that's why when people was talking about the Switch Pro or Switch this, Switch that, it's going to be ray trace, not ray trace, but DLSS at least 30 of it 60 frames a second or 120 is going to be 4K. And that's the reason why I hate rumors because now the Switch OLED is out and it's still 30 frames a second. That's to me is unacceptable. But I'm not all PC players. I'm more of a person where I try to figure stuff out like that. But go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't.
No, no. What I try to do is I try to have the other person talk. You know what I'm saying, and try to give people time and try to keep it civilized. But go ahead.
Oh, uh, no, I wasn't really gonna say anything. I
Oh,
just
but thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. So with the PlayStation community, do you think that the PlayStation community? And I'm not going to put you into that because I'm talking to you. Because I'm not going to put you there because you're your own person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to put you with this group, but the PlayStation community. Do you think that what they're doing, putting up videos and stuff like that, talking about their opinions, is actually creating people to respond back to them about stuff they're saying?
I mean, if you're like a Xbox or if you disagree, then I mean, yeah, I guess you're gonna make a video. Like anything a PlayStation fan will say
Mm,
is just immediately fanboyism. Like it's according to PC players and Xbox. Like if you say, "Oh, I like the PS5," they're gonna call you a fanboy. That's it. Like
okay.
if Xbox player would say, "Oh, the PlayStation 5, sucks," nobody's gonna bat an eye. But if a PlayStation player says the Xbox sucks, like in their opinion, "Oh, the Xbox sucks," they're immediately a fanboy and they're gonna get ridiculed. It's just ridiculous, and there's definitely just what's it like double standard? I think
Okay.
like people are favoring and protecting Xbox. It's ridiculous.
Okay. All right. I see where your point coming through. Um. Okay. Fair enough. I got no response to that because there's always going to be fanboys on both market. Even with PC, with AMD and Intel, there is some people out there, and if you want, check out my last video and you see where I'm coming with, because that is a Nintendo fanboy, and you gotta check him out. He is You gotta check out that video. I think I did a pretty good job on that one. But yeah, he's a Nintendo fanboy, and he was talking about the fanboys of AMD and Intel and what you call it, Nvidia. And yeah, we do have those and everything. It's kind of hard to find them, but yeah, we do have them. So I haven't ran into one, but with me, I don't care as long as you get the parts and you want to build a PC. I'm 100% with that, and I just don't like how they just fanboying over that. Now, the reason why I went with AMD is because I dislike the direction that Nvidia's taking and not really giving anything to everybody else. While AMD, they giving out their DLSS version of AMD to even older graphic cards of Nvidia, and to me, I think that was really awesome of them. They didn't have to do that.
Uh, yeah, I don't really know a lot about the AMD stuff.
Oh no, oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree. The whole point of that is they're going to be fanboys on any market, and I just don't think
yeah,
that that the fanboys of AMD and Intel they're dumb as well. But let's go on and
yeah.
talk about JTech, because I want to know about your opinions on JTech. Give me a little scoop on that if you don't mind me asking.
To be honest, JTech. I mean, I do agree with him on other things, but I kind of don't want to associate myself because I heard like he's a weirdo. Like he sends pictures and stuff to random women,
Ooh,
like his genitals and all that BS.
yeah, I heard a
So
lot about that
kind of a
too.
weirdo, but he does have some good like opinions sometimes.
I think you have better opinions than JTech, honestly, in my opinion. I think with JTech, he's beyond the console peasant, in my opinion, because the fact that he calling PC players console peasant, not console peasant, but PC port beggars, which all PC players not port beggars, but he's still putting us in that port beggar situation. But he didn't realize that there was PlayStation fans asking for a port from a different system. So is this a double-edged sword now? So now I'm calling him a PlayStation port beggar.
Well, the thing is, what when he says PlayStation port better,
No, I'll
I
call
think he's
him
referring
PlayStation
to
port beggar.
people, huh?
I'm calling him
Oh,
PlayStation port beggar.
not PC. What's it?
PC
PC.
port
Oh yeah,
beggars.
PC port beggars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he says PC port beggars, he's probably referring to like people who hate on games, hate on PlayStation games, but still um ask for ports. Like people keep calling PlayStation games movie simulators, walking simulators, and it's like so ridiculous. Like that's just not the truth at all. Like I don't
Uh,
understand what it is with PlayStation players. Like if a game isn't like at 1,000 FOV with microtransactions and terrible graphics, it's not a game. It's a movie. Like just because a
uh,
game has good graphics, then it's not a movie. Like
okay,
that's
fair
what it
enough.
is.
Um, Death Stranding.
Mhm.
That's literally the walking simulator.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? Death Stranding. I can agree that game is kind of just walking, but that game was literally like ported to PC, and you see how PC players love it. Like you got for for Tanga, he plays that game all the time. Like his whole circle. Like a lot of PC players like Death Stranding. Like if Death Stranding was not ported to PC, they would be calling that game a walking simulator. Like as soon as a game is ported to PC, it's a good game. They have to actually try out the game before they start calling it a walking simulator.
Oh, I still call it a walking simulator, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game, if that makes sense. Like, you do walk straight ahead, and even though
Mm.
it's a walking simulator, you also got like PC simulator and you got like bum simulator stuff like that. So a simulated game is not bad. Look at flight simulator. Uh yeah, flight simulator is on PC and on Xbox. But when because I was planning to go to college for simulation, and simulation is actually key in life. So it's not calling walking simulator bad. They just saying, hey, um, the simulation is walking, and I think a lot of people just don't understand that. Yeah, we might call it walking simulator, but that's not a bad thing. And yeah, I haven't tried Death Stranding before, and yeah, it's on PC. If I call it walking simulator, it doesn't mean I'm calling it bad. It's just you walking a lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, uh,
yeah. So, geez, I had all these questions. I just forgot. Oh, that remind me. Griffin and Fratanga been giving you props on the videos you've been making. Like they've been talking about your viewership. You're like what over a thousands on your viewership.
oh yeah, but I appreciate that. But this Bertanga and Griffin Gaming, man, they have some of the worst takes I've ever. Especially Griffin, man. That guy just has terrible takes. Like I don't like making videos on him, but it's just like you can't. I can't stop myself from making videos on this guy because his takes are just terrible, and I just want to call him out.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, I guess my viewership is pretty decent, I guess, for my channel size.
yeah, fair enough. Sorry about that. I'm looking at my chat at the same time since I'm starting to do
Uh,
YouTube. I'm trying to have a conversation with you because I don't want to like because I kind of giving the audience a look at between you and myself because this is not a debate. This is more of a having a conversation between both of us, both you and I. So you know, uh, because I'm not that type of cat where I'm just like trying to argue or anything. I just thought that I just thought I had criticism to criticize people. But I think this interview is going pretty well. You know, we're getting close to an hour, so let's see. Shoot, have you even checked any of my videos on my channel?
yeah. Hold on.
Go ahead, go ahead. Okay, so I'm about to hit the chat real quick. Hey, I wanna. Ooh, now I lost my point. Okay, I want to say thank you for visiting Silver Hall 9000. Devis- Devastator. Sorry, mispronouncing your name. Starlit Green. Hey, how you doing? These are the people that's in the chat. Really appreciate everybody watching, and just doing the best I can. Thank you very much for visiting. All right, cool. So, um, you have any questions to ask me? Because it looked like I just ran out of questions. I thought this was a great conversation that you and I having.
Uh, I don't really
Okay.
have any questions. Like, do you like? I have one question. Do you agree that people should be paying more money for less content? Like, do you agree with Griffin Gaming on that?
You talking about the whole debate that they have?
Yeah, because it like literally it's it just comes down to paying more for less content. That's all I saw Griffin Gaming defending. Like paying more for less content is ridiculous in my opinion. That's just really dumb.
Um, when it comes down to it, because I watched that debate, because I want to be real with you. Um, I'm not saying I got limited funds in my bank account. I think I just try to manage my money the best way I can. That's why I try to build my credit up, and I pay for credit and pay that off. Just try to try to be more responsible with my money. And that's one thing I want to say. If I'm going to enjoy the game, I gotta try I'm going to try to. I want to try something first before I pay the money for it. So like with demos, if I try the demo and I enjoy it, I want to pay the money from the get go. As far as paying full price for a game, let's say that Battlefield, to me the game is not worth that much money. But I can't tell people how they want to spend their money. That's why I tell people, hey, if you're going to buy a PlayStation, go for it. I just want people to do more research on the items that they're going to buy. And to me, if I went and bought that Battlefield game, I'm only spending $60 because I'm getting on PC. It, I'm not paying extra $10. So to me, that to me, I need to try it before I buy it. But if I like it, I'm going to spend full price on it.
What the thing is with the whole debate thing, Griffin Gaming was talking about how that Supernova bought Ratchet and Clank, but I mean it just goes back and forth because Griffin Gaming is going to defend him paying $70 for Battlefield and get mad at people for paying $70 for Ratchet and Clank, and Supernova's gonna it's kind of like back and forth, so I don't really
Yeah,
know
his
about that, but
where Supernova, where I think he epic failed that whole debate. He don't want to listen to people like how you and I are talking right now.
mm,
We're listening to each other, and you see how I'm listening to your viewpoints, and I could actually agree with some of it, and I did say some part I disagree with.
yeah.
Supernova was not doing that, and with me, I try to listen to both sides of the argument before I make my decision. Supernova, he made this argument saying you're paying only for the multiplayer, but he don't want to make the argument about the Halo Infinite where you got to pay $60 for that single player. Even though back in the past, Halo was a single player and multiplayer game. If they take that, if they take out the multiplayer, then to his point of argument, then it should be a $40 or $30 game. And Supernova didn't hold on to that. That's where Griffin Gaming was like, then how can you tell if a game is $120 if they're going to take the multiplayer out?
um,
Yeah. So Supernova Games, he's not really a smartest guy. Not a smart guy. Let me not say that. I don't think he's a dumb guy. I think his argument and his viewpoint on the situation is dumb.
I mean, to me, I just cannot.
And that's
I mean, Supernova did make some mistakes, but like, I just have to stay on his side on this one. I just cannot defend
and
paying
and
$70
and that's
for
fine.
his content.
And that's fine. I'm just happy that I'm not paying $70 because I think on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series X you got to pay 70. I refuse. I refuse.
Yeah, and I also, you know what? Uh, PC players and who Griffin Gaming from Tank, like they're all against. They're not against, but like they prefer digital and objectively physical is just cheaper because with Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, those games are $70. Yes, Battlefield 2046 $70, but then you could literally just go on OfferUp or eBay and get those games for way less. But with digital, it's probably going to take some time before a GOG or whatever gets those games cheaper. And even when they are cheaper,
Yeah.
it's like 50. It's not that crazy. Like
That's that's
people are already
where
seeing Returnal for cheap.
yeah. That's where I turn to where my investment is going. Now, I guess because I'm getting older now, I guess my thought on paying $70, $60 on games is actually I don't want to if I'm going to spend my most time on those games, then I made the right investment. That's why I went to PC. So if I spent let's talk about that Battlefield 2046. So like, let's say I waited because I don't want to play that game right away, and I got that game on sale on Steam for like $10. I was like, okay, that's a good investment for me to pick up. So I go on Steam and I pick it up for $10. And let's just say I just did. If I don't spend at least 20 hours in that game because I know it's a multiplayer game, I feel like I wasted that $10. But if I spent like at least 30, 40 hours in that game, then that's a $10 I feel like I invested my money that I enjoy.
Uh,
Like with Paladins, like I play Paladins a little bit too much because I like it over Overwatch. Uh, I spent I spent more on that game, even though it was free. I went and spent the money, like $30 on the getting all the characters in the future, and I'm still playing that game. So that investment right there for me was worth it.
okay.
Yeah, but I guess it's like it depends on somebody depending on their purchase. I can't talk on everybody. I only could talk for myself, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to talk about? I think this was a pretty good stream. I think everything was went well. I think this was a great conversation you and I have.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to see.
this really helped.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to see your viewpoint, and a lot of people in the stream saw, that this conversation was very respectful and everything. I hope so. And if you give and when you get a chance, just watch my last video I did on this one PlayStation. I'm not PlayStation, but this one Nintendo fanboy.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. But I just want to wish you a good night, and I want to go ahead and let everybody in chat. I'm about to read it. Thank you for viewers watching the stream. Again, I want to say thank you to Silver Hall 9000 Devastating Devastator. I'm sorry about butchering your name. Starlit Dream, and I don't know who the last one, but these are the people that commented. I really appreciate y'all stopping by. This was like one of my successful stream I did lately, and thank you, Malkimum. I really do appreciate you coming by. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. And if you want to, you know, we could chat another time. If you want me to be on your channel, I'll be more than happy to.
All right.
All right, you have yourself a good night, and everybody. I really appreciate everybody coming by the stream, and I want to say everybody's human. My name's Karan Williams.